What's good everyone, it's your boy Yadiiiigg, 4 Eyes, 2 G's here, and today we're here reporting for No Jumper, and we're going to be going back in history to talk about the legendary duo of XXXTentacion and Ski Master Slump God, the two of which have one of the most interesting storylines out of the newer generation, and in this video specifically, I'm going to be focusing on their relationship and the narratives that relate to their relationship specifically, not necessarily their individual careers. Anyways, let's not waste any time and let's dive right in. So, as most of you would know, the two have gone through numerous run-ins with the law throughout the span of their lives, and sometime around 2012-2013ish, they found themselves in the very same juvenile detention center in Florida, and this time period was heavily expounded upon in this interview Ski did with XXXTentacion right here. The two would actually meet inside the detention center where X was in there for hitting licks and gun charges, while Ski was only in there for around $10 of weed. At that time, although X was already doing music, Ski wasn't. However, Ski would freestyle for X in the center, and this is when X would actually encourage him to do it more and to try to take music seriously, and over the course of their time inside, they became close friends, and when they got out, they remained very close as well, as the two would get into all kinds of nefarious circumstances, as was remembered by Ski afterwards on Faucet Failure with this iconic lyric right here. But also, more importantly, they began to take music more seriously at this time, and according to the XXL piece, after this, Ski started Very Rare and got X involved with that, and then X started Members Only, eventually leading to the Members Only tapes. Volume 1, which was released in April of 2015, was only Ski and X, whereas the second one, which was released in October of 2015, featured other members of the group. And it's important to note that all those songs that were released around this time, like Fuck and Freddy vs. Jason, are huge, well-known anthems right now. At that time, they were very underground. Even X in 2015 only had a fraction of the buzz that he would go on to have throughout 2016 and 2017, and Ski was even smaller. They were still very much making a name for themselves locally in Florida, and were focusing on showing up and turning up all of these local shows rather than catering for or trying to become quote-unquote part of the industry. And around this mid to late 2015 period is really when they started to gain a bit of buzz for themselves in the underground, as X specifically pointed to Fuck as a song that changed a lot for them.
When did you start to feel like, okay, I gotta keep going with this because I'm making a fucking impact, I'm starting to build a following here?
As soon as we dropped Fuck.
Fuck that shit, nigga, fuck that shit. Fuck that shit, fuck that shit. Fuck that shit, nigga, fuck that shit. Fuck that shit.
And I think Fuck is a quintessential X and Ski song, and it has a sound that in terms of their own collaborations, they are well known for, and in terms of how the two were able to influence the underground culture, these songs with their heavily distorted production and the exaggerated, energetic, sometimes screaming vocals laid the blueprint for artists to copy endlessly, and still to this day we see rappers coming out with sounds that are so familiar to this style that it's so obvious where they got it from. And X spoke about this distorted sound that he had right here.
I wanted to fit my ears because I know if it sounds crazy to me, it's gonna sound crazy to everybody else. Because if it sounds fucking lit, because I told him, look, when we dropped our first few hits, when it sounded crazy to us, I knew for a fact to other people that would just hear it, it would sound absolutely fucking insane.
Moving forward though, we get to 2016, and this would be the year that would change everything for both of them. So throughout 2016, X in particular was going through legal issues again and again, which eventually culminated in him getting arrested in October of 2016, which would lead to him being held up for the rest of the year. And this is super important to mention. X wouldn't get released until March of 2017, and in the space of those 5-6 months, I literally witnessed X go from a kid that nobody but me, a few of my friends, and a small amount of people online knew about in the middle of 2016 to literally every single party I was going to playing Look at Me, and every kid knowing who he was by April of 2017. It was crazy experiencing the insane rise to internet popularity over that period that X had. The focus of this video is X and Ski, so I don't want to delve into that story too heavily, but it's just super important to note that going away during this period turned out to be be the best thing for X career-wise. Not only this though, it's interesting because while he was locked up, the only times we really ever heard X speak was in his No Jumper interview, which was with Ski, and his interview with Elevator, which was with Ski, and then on top of that, we were constantly being fed information about the updates of his case and when he was getting out by the likes of Ski, like this video right here, which was done by Adam. So Ski and X to the underground culture at this time were seen as this awesome duo, and although they had their individual music which was amazing in its own right, when they came together their energy was palpable and it created for these mosh pit anthems that were going crazy on SoundCloud at this time. And on top of that, just watching one of these interviews, you can see how comfortable they were around each other and just how strong their bond really was.
Yo son, you looking real sexy. I licked them fucking face tats off your face.
That's your man.
And then once X got free, which as I said happened in March of 2017, this is truly when things went to the next level for both of their careers. Look at Me at that time was getting bigger than it ever had been, and this helped to propel X to the mainstream audiences. But at the same time, Ski and X's music was also getting signal boosted as a result of X's popularity, and to the quote-unquote real fans of X's music that looked a bit deeper than Just Look at Me, their collabs like Rip Roach and I Love It When They Run became cult classics. Then in April, X announced the nationwide Revenge tour, on which he would be taking Ski and Craig Zen, and this tour, fittingly so for X and Ski, was filled with insanity, from Wi-Fi's funeral being jumped at a show while crowd surfing, to the infamous Rob Stone beef that ended with X being attacked on stage, to people being stabbed in the concerts, to X being thrown around into the barricade by his own security, to X even punching a fan. Looking back at it, whoever was X's PR management at this time would have had a lot to deal with, to say the least. But at the same time, the tour did look insanely turned as well. However, unfortunately, not every single show would go ahead, with it being cut short due to X's cousin being shot. Then towards the end of June, the tour would be featured heavily on the third installment of the members only projects. Then unfortunately, we have to move on and discuss the less positive side of their relationship and detail the times where they weren't on good terms. And just like the Peep and Tracer video I did, I don't touch on this aspect of their relationship to put blame on people or to make people look bad, etc, etc. It's just important to cover the full story, and especially in this case, I wouldn't even say they had a quote-unquote beef, they were just kind of separated for a little bit of time. And how we came that there was kind of an issue between the two was these videos right here, the first of which being X, and then Ski would respond shortly after.
Announcement. If you want me to make music, tell Ski Mask to be my friend again. Tell Ski Mask to be my friend again, and I will make music. Tell him to be my friend again.
I'll always love that alien-looking nigga named XXX. But I had to distance myself because it's like nobody would see me as an individual rapper if I don't. On top of that, that nigga crazy as hell.
So what happened with me and Ski, to explain it in an appropriate way and in a way that I can respect, it was just, I guess, a lack of appreciation on his end, not because of me, I guess just from a business perspective, but he put a business perspective before a personal relationship, and I've been with him as a friend and as a brother for a very long time. So I mean, it's just on some like other shit, to be honest. It's not even on some like, it's not even on anything I've done wrong. He can't even say I've done anything to him. And I wouldn't go on the internet and express that if I didn't care about the relationship, but you already know how it goes. People use you to get where they want to go and then part ways.
And after this, Ski would also add this to his story, suggesting he felt as though there was some weird energy from X towards him, as you can read right here. Later on though, in early December of 2017, X actually wrote this on Instagram, quote, "Don't care what you said about me, you know who got you back, love you forever, tag in Slump God." But then by the end of December, it seemed that they were on different terms yet again, as X revealed in a series of stories that he rejected Ski's request to make a song, saying that he felt like people were using him for success and that he was going to destroy them. Ski, in response to this, would say that he just wanted to do a song though, and he wasn't talking about being close or having that type of relationship again.
Man, I wasn't saying anything about friendship, man. I was talking about making a song, bro.
However, then in a beautiful reconciliatory moment, the two would reunite for a legendary Roll 'N Loud performance in Miami of May 2018, which to this day stands as one of the most iconic performances of any rapper of this generation.
Yo, bro, I love you, bro.
I love you too.
I love you, bro.
What's it, boy,
And in the same way, people like myself still watch live videos from the late 90s to the early 2000s of people like Rage Against the Machine, Slipknot, and System of a Down. All these years later, this performance right here of the two will be viewed the same way. Then unfortunately though, the very next month, as we all know, unfortunately X's life would be tragically taken from him. Obviously, this hit Ski very hard, and out of respect, I won't detail every moment from Ski related to X that we've seen occur since his passing, but some notable important moments to mention is a tribute song of sorts called Empty that appeared on Memes Only Volume 4, released in 2019, where he raps, "Once I was at peace, took a fall, now it's in pieces, I bawled, cried and I wept for Jah," going on to say, "I hope my end is my start, I hope that Jah see my heart," which are very heartfelt lyrics. Then on top of that, there have also been collaborative records of theirs released since X's death, such as Ghostbusters and Make 'Em Run, and Ski on top of this has also commemorated him time and time again during his live performances and spoken on him in various interviews. One of my favorites is this moment right here from his Faucet Failure Genius lyrics explanation video.
Craziest memory I have with X is when we both did acid. We're just chilling. He has no shirt on. He has his shoes on, pants on. This nigga runs full sprint and jumps into the lake like, psh, and I'm talking about it's like dirty lake, alligators, Florida. We're just staring like, is he gonna come back up? We're waiting. He touches the top and only lets the water come to like right here, and he's like spookily swimming like.
And it's crazy to think that it's been over 2 years since X passed away, and as someone who had been following both X and Ski since 2016, seeing them go on to have huge success in their respective careers over the forthcoming years was amazing to see, and I think they both broke boundaries, whether that be together or individually. And although there is a tragic undertone to this video with the context of X passing away, to this day I can still play a song like I Love It When They Run or Fuck, and it brings me back to 2016 when I first discovered them and their music sounded so different and off the wall. And in the comments below, make sure to tell us your favorite X and Ski collab. For me, it's got to be either I Love It When They Run or Rip Roach. Those two still go so hard today, but let us know what you guys have got in the comments. Also, if you guys don't know myself, Yadiiiigg, I do have my own YouTube channel where I cover very similar content like this. If you enjoyed this video and you want to check out my stuff, link will be in the description. That will be much appreciated. Also, a big thank you to Adam for letting me back on the channel again. It's always a blessing to be able to share the content with you guys. If you guys haven't checked out the No Jumper videos on the screen right now, make sure to. But that's all from me. Hope everyone has a nice day. Peace.